Hello there, everyone. Pearl Jr. here. I know, I was just live 2 days ago. Well, when I have news to report, and I do several news to report, I will come on live. So the more news there is, the more times I'll come on live. Of course, I'm squeezing it in while I do my stays all day shade. Let's do work and play, because everybody has skin. 62-year-old chest. And this, you can get like a foundation that you can rub on you that looks like this, okay? This is my real skin. This is shea butter skin. This is no makeup, no nothing. This is just shea butter skin. Absolutely no makeup here, none at all. Okay, just shea butter skin. So if you want to have wonderful, luscious, soft, smooth, glowy skin and smell great for a fraction of the cost of designer fragrances, please go to my website, staysalldayshay.com, or go to theskinbutterstore.com, or come on down to the Skin Butter Store in North Hollywood at 11107 Burbank Boulevard. All right, so let's get to some Michael news. Okay, somebody left a comment. You should give 40% of your business to Michael Jackson. To a billionaire? Give my business? Poor me who struggles to pay my bills, struggles to make it all happen. Every month I got to come up with so much money to pay my house rent and the store rent. I work my butt off. And that's why I'm always in a rush, because I'm always doing things. So Michael can buy 40% of my business, perhaps, but definitely not give a billionaire 40%. What has he done? Nothing. I've worked for Michael Jackson since 2005 for free. Michael has never paid me a penny. The Jackson estate has never paid me a penny. No Jackson family member has ever paid me a penny. And I have kept Michael Jackson's fans engaged. I've released and spent my own money to produce my own documentaries and put them out there. You guys would laugh. I think I make like maybe 10 cents an hour, 20 cents an hour. All the Michaeling that I do on a regular, consistent basis since 2005. So, anyway, guys, I do this out of the love of Michael Jackson, and for you fans, because you fans are Michael's fans. I am not silly enough to think you're my fans, but you like me, but you're Michael fans, and I understand that. Okay, and I respect you. Several things going on. Okay, first of all, we got to say rest in peace to the primatologist, Jane Goodall. She lived to be 91 years old. She did a lot of stuff in Africa with the monkeys and the gorillas and the primates and stuff, and that's her young. So thank you for all your work, Miss Jane. Oh no, Jane is back here. Jane. That's Jane. That's Jane. Okay, I don't know who that is, but that's Jane. Okay, and those are, look, and the monkey's gonna give her a hug. Oh, isn't that sweet? Isn't that sweet? And she's in Africa, okay? So she spent her time there. But anyway, she died of natural causes at 91 years old. Okay, so that's the first thing. Okay, the second thing we're going to do is, Peter posted on Instagram, I bet with myself that today with your live, he will appear so fantastic. Michael giving you content is the best. Okay. We're going to get to Michael and the content, and I know I've been talking about it, and he released some stuff right after I talked about it. Okay. But what he released kind of has me a little concerned. Okay, I wanted to get to other stuff, but we're going to go ahead and get to this one right now. Okay, so this is what he released. Oh, I don't want to go there. Let's go here. Instagram. And we're going to go ahead and look at what he posted. Okay, the video that he reposted, the audio that this is his Instagram. Okay, Peter Madani. This is Michael singing, period. Okay, you ready? Here we go. There we go. Audio.
Shut your mouth. better shut your mouth. Shut your mouth. Better shut your mouth. Shut your mouth. Better shut your mouth. Better shut your mouth. They don't need a lot that preacher. Definitely not another mother. All they need is love. Better not come words into someone's mouth. Better let them shout. Better let them find a way.
That's Michael. Okay. So he released that song. This is what he says. He said, weeks ago, you said you were working on a song. Oh, that's what somebody else wrote to him, that you were working on a song. Was this what you were saying? It's truly divine to listen to, and I can't help but thinking in someone I care deeply about. That's Michael singing. Okay? Shut your mouth. Okay? Now, who's he telling to shut his mouth? Is he talking to me? Is he talking to me, telling me I better shut my mouth? Who he talking to, Paris? Who he talking to? Better shut their mouth. Who they talking to? Maybe the haters? You talking to the haters? Shut your mouth? Who you talking to? Right? So I'm just kind of wondering who he telling to shut their mouth. Okay? Who you telling to shut your mouth? I've been talking for 20 years. Okay, you can't undo, thousands of fans watching the documentaries, thousands of fans having the documentaries that I've sold over the years, thousands of posts, 8.3 million views on my YouTube channel, people that have, read thousands of my posts, so I don't think he's talking to me about shut my mouth, because we can't unspill all that milk. Okay, so he talking to somebody. Maybe it's the haters, but I'm seeing there's a few haters, but not a whole bunch. I quieted two of the leaders of the haters. I had to do it legally. Okay, I had to do it in a legal way. Because sometimes you just get tired of the lies and people just slandering and defaming you and all this stuff. So you have to go to the court for some kind of relief. And that's what I eventually had to do. So I don't really hear from those people anymore, which is a good thing, Okay. So, anyway, so somebody better shut their mouth, because Michael said, shut your mouth, shut your mouth. Better shut your mouth. Kind of catchy. Better shut your mouth. That's Michael. Okay. And I have probably, I haven't counted, but over 50, maybe 100, 100 of him singing songs throughout the years. And it always comes from Peter Medani's account. Plus more. Somebody said, where do I learn all the things that Peter Michael Bobby has done? Go watch Alive 3 and Alive 4. Go to michaeljacksoninsider.com and have your freaking mind blown. Okay? Below. You can also, I think in Alive 2, maybe it's 3, but you can also see Michael walking. You can hear him talking. You can see him dancing as Sulfur Go from Ashes. You can see him where he was at when he was in France. Okay, so there's a lot of stuff there. Okay, that you can't imagine. You can't think without knowing. Okay, so we got that. All right. So last live, Paris gave TJ's daughter Dee Dee, who's named after their mother that was murdered, okay, by a guy named Bohanna. I think that was his name, but he's out now, I think. But anyway, Dee Dee, named after their mother Dolores, gave her a Jeep vehicle, okay, a Jeep truck, gave her that Jeep truck. So now we have, and I saw the audio, I saw the video somewhere. Maybe if I go to my Facebook and my messages, somebody sent me the video of Paris and Janet hugging each other. Let me see if I can find it. Let's see if I can find it. Okay, I'm gonna get to that. Let me see if I can find it. Somebody sent it to me. Where is it? Was it on TikTok? Let's see. No, that ain't it. But I have the still shot, but I did see the video and I kind of wanted to show the video. Oh, he's always good. Let's see. Nope, he didn't send it. He didn't send it. Somebody sent me the video, and I saw the video. Okay, hold on. Let me see if I can find it. If I can't find the video fast enough, then I will just show you the screenshots of Janet and Paris hugging each other. If somebody finds it after me, after I finish this live, I will post it in the comments. I'll post the link to the comments. But somebody sent it to me. Where is it? Somebody sent me the video. Oh, well. Okay. Anyway, so this is what Paris posted on her Instagram. Even though I'm wondering if she got a new little crush on this dude here. Okay. Cause he kind of hugging her. This one right here. He kind of hugging her a little like, and she kind of liking it. And then she posted it too. So I'm kind of wondering, Paris, you kind of sweet on him? Okay, hold on. She looks gorgeous. You just got to give it to her. She does look gorgeous. She does. She looks gorgeous. So I would always say that no matter with the Jackson name or without the Jackson name, she would still be a model. Okay, that's Janet and Paris. Okay, that's Janet and Paris. They're both in Paris at a fashion show. And so I don't know if it was set up, but they happened to see each other. And there is a video of them, and Paris kind of runs to Janet, and Janet has open arms for her niece. Okay? So this guy right here, I'm just kind of wondering, you know, Paris, he kind of holding her. Look, he like, oh my God. I understand, girl, he is fine. He is fine. And he's tall, too. And he's tall. He is tall because Paris is giant, okay? She's 5'10", 5'11", with flat-footed, okay? And legs for days, okay? She has the longest legs. But she posted this herself. So I'm wondering, I think she kind of like him. But, of course, she's going to be hesitant because, you know, her other relationships, right, didn't go so well. Queen of the Stone Age, so that's where she's going. Okay. So, but I'm wondering if she kind of sweet on him, and he's fine and tall, girl. Okay, all right, Paris. Okay, but Janet and her, because the last time, maybe we've seen him one other time, but when Paris was underage, like 16, 15, they had a falling out. And they were at a house, and it was reported that she told Janet, this ain't no Jackson house, like to get out. And I remember Gladys Knight was pissed off about it. Okay, her smart, flippant mouth and, you know, trying to put down Janet and tell her where to go and where not to go when she ain't earned a penny. Okay, I want to get into the Debbie Rowe situation. I don't. If you want to know what happened with Debbie Rowe and how they became Michael's children, please watch my videos. They have a warning on them. Okay, there's two of them. They have a warning that if you don't want to know the truth, based on Debbie's own words, Debbie on camera, Debbie's under oath testimony, not me. Okay, I'm reading it. Okay, then watch those videos. But if you want to be in fantasy land and you don't want that disturbed, then don't watch them. Okay, but anyway, I liked that Janet and her hugged. So Paris apparently is trying to redeem herself because when she went off and threw that nasty, nasty, nasty shade at the Michael biopic, she had to backtrack from that. Okay, she had to backtrack from that because that was like, girl. So, like I said, was she going to tell the truth that Michael faked his death and he's Peter Michael Bobby sending a message, shut your mouth. You better shut your mouth. You better shut your mouth. Okay, because I'm wondering if he's talking to me, but my milk is already spilled everywhere. Okay, it's in your home. You guys have the documentaries in your home. So I don't think he thinks it's possible for me to shut my mouth. Okay, so he must be talking to someone else. Okay, but hey, better shut your mouth. Okay, so But I was thinking when she's saying it's all lies, this, that, and the other, and when we went through the cast of the Michael biopic, it seems like everything happens before she's born. Okay, so what does she know that's all lies? And the thing is that bothered me is she didn't tell us one thing specific that was a lie. Okay, so we're supposed to go into the movies thinking the whole thing is a lie, double thinking everything, thinking what's the truth, what ain't the truth. It was throwing shade. So now she backtracking with Dee Dee in the car and now with Auntie Janet. Okay, so we're good at that. All right, Lionel Richie. Lionel has a book. A friend of mine, I got to tell you who came to my booth. Oh my God, you're not going to believe who came to my booth. Okay, I'm going to get to it. All right, let's get to Lionel Richie. A friend of mine went to his book signing. And people didn't know if it was a concert, a book signing. It just said an evening with Lionel Richie. Well, apparently he was just telling stories. So she said the audience this was in New York. She said the audience was super rude to him, throwing stuff on stage, yelling, shut up and sing to him. And they were mad because the tickets were anywhere from, well, her ticket was, about in the hundreds. But some people tickets were $1,000 and you came just to hear him talk with Robin Roberts about his book. People were rude, she said. It was a horrible, horrible audience. They treated him very disrespectfully. But anyway, there's an article, and apparently in the book, he's talking about how Michael smelled badly. Okay? We all know that Quincy Jones called him smelly. Michael tried to backtrack that smelly meant, oh, that song is so good, it's smelly. Like, it's so good, it's bad. Kind of, ooh, it's smelly. Ooh, that song is smelly. Like, it's good, right? Super good, right? The opposite of what it means. But smelly, also, Lionel saying, poor Michael. He, during Thriller, because Lionel was with the Commodores, and the Commodores opened for the Jackson 5 when they were on tour. So Lionel's known Michael since he was a kid, right? And he said that when he'd be around Michael, he would smell because he would wear the same jeans over and over and over again, right? Same t-shirt, same jeans. He was just in his creative mode. Plus, how's he going to go to the store? He's the famous Michael Jackson. He can't go to the store. It ain't like ordering online like before. We talking about the 80s. Okay, the 70s, the 80s, right? So, but what I don't understand is how come Catherine didn't make sure Michael's clothes was washed. He was living at Havenhurst. But, okay, I'm going to say this. Michael didn't like people in his room. And the reason is because he would have scraps of paper. Okay, scraps of paper. And people would mess up, his creative process. Michael is a hoarder, for sure, a hoarder. Okay, so, like, for example, if we Google, oh my God, I gotta go. Okay, we Google Michael Jackson, Carolwood, bedroom pictures. Okay, picture. Okay, Michael Jackson, bathroom, not bedroom, bathroom. Michael was a hoarder, and Peter Michael Bobby is a hoarder. Because one time we were on the phone, we used to stay on the phone sometime 8 hours a day, 6 hours a day, 5 hours a day. We'd be on the phone, right? We'd be on the phone, right? And I was telling him, I said, I gotta go, I gotta take a shower. And he's like, the day's already over. What you need to take a shower for? And we both laughed because it was funny because he was saying that he nasty like that, right? And there is pictures of, because they were released through the trial, right? Trial pictures. Okay, trial pictures. Okay, let's see. Because his room was a mess. His bathroom was a mess. I have the picture somewhere. But, you done took that down too? Okay, Michael Jackson, Carolwood bathroom. Here it is. Here's one. Okay, here's one. But, yeah, okay. But it's messier than this. But this one you can kind of see. Okay, this one you can kind of see that his clothes lay where they are at. Okay, but this ain't it. This ain't the picture I'm looking for. I'm looking for the picture where it shows he probably had it scrubbed after Lionel came out, because that was kind of cold-blooded though, Lionel. You know, he talked about Michael really smelled, and he must have really, really. Well, you know what they said about Tupac too. Michael, Dr. Conrad Murray trial pictures. Okay, pictures. Let's see if it comes up there. Carolwood bedroom. Let's see if we can look at bedroom. I'm gonna put bedroom. They were somewhere. I wonder if I have them somewhere. You know what? I'm gonna look in my stuff real quick. Okay, let me put hoarder. Hoard. Okay. Oh, here it is. Here's one of Michael's rooms that was messy. Okay. All right. So here it is. Here it is. Okay. Here, this is not the bathroom, but this is the bedroom. Michael was messy. Okay. Michael was messy. See? You know, and I understand why. It's because, you know, he's a creative genius. And sometimes he writes, you know, big notes on pieces of paper that could be $1 million song or something that he can't find. Right? Let me do bedroom hoard. Let's do bedroom. Let's do bedroom. I got other things that are coming through my mind, but I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about it. Okay, hold on. I have stuff. His bed was a mess, but everybody's bed's a mess when you first come out the bedroom. Okay? But anyway, there's a bathroom picture somewhere that his bathroom was a total pigsty, okay? Well, because he has maids, and sometimes he didn't want the maids to go in certain rooms. Now, when he had his house in Neverland, one maid who ended up turning on him had access to his bedroom and had a key and could go in there at any time and clean up, right? But she ended up turning on him and saying he did crazy things, and so now he became you know, on people coming into the bedroom. But you could look at some of his Neverland messy room. Let me see, Neverland. Let me see, Neverland. Well, anyway, he was messy. But you know what they said about Tupac? That Tupac, when he was creating in his creative process, that he wouldn't even flush the toilet. Okay, because he was so into whatever he was doing, and the creativity was just coming so fast that let me go poop, and I got to go, and I got to do this, and I got to do this, and it was all a mess because they're so into their creativeness that nothing else really matters, right? So Lionel talked about Michael in that way. I don't know, Lionel, but hey, it's headlines and it's going to promote the book, and that's what the publisher wants, because the publisher invests a lot of money into publishing the book. First, they got to give the writer some kind of fee, you know, to publish the book, the signing fee, right? And then they got to, pay all the people that work at the publishing house, and they got to print all the books and put the books out there or put them on the internet. So it's a big investment. So you got to sell X amount of books, thousands or tens of thousands of books, in order to even get to zero. Okay. So I understand the push of the publisher in a business sense that wants something that'll get headlines in order to promote the book. Okay. So maybe Lionel's karma was him not having a good event in New York. Okay. So that's what a friend of mine told me who was actually there. Okay. I wasn't there. Okay. Mariah Carey. Oh my God. Mariah says that there is a, where is it? Oh no, no. Where is the Mariah? Okay. Where is the Mariah? Mariah. Oh shoot. Let me go here and let me go here. And let me go here. Mariah Carey says she did a duet with Michael. It was one of his older songs. And it's never been released. And she wants it released, and I want it released. But she kind of mumbled about why. You know, I wonder if there's a Michael and Whitney duet. I wonder. Or a Michael and Mickey Howard duet. you know, baby mama, Brandon. Okay, I'm wondering. Okay, so let me go here and let me, it was Nations of Magic. That's the name of the page that released it. And it was on somebody, here we go. Here it is. Okay. I'll just put the camera up here. Okay, and then I'm gonna press play. So Mariah Carey is on this guy's show. I don't know.
That you've blessed us with wonderful surprises from the vault, but you still have so many gems waiting to see the light of day. Could your collaboration with Michael Jackson ever end up on a Rarities 2.0 album?
What is his name? This person?
Orange Clouds.
Oh, Orangey Clouds. I know. Did you get that from Close My Eyes?
Probably. Yeah.
Do you guys think he did? Do you? Okay.
So there is a Michael Jackson, Mariah Carey collab that is in the vault somewhere?
It's not in the vault. It's right there, but there's an issue with his estate because they're doing something really huge for him, Michael. And,
yes.
you know, this is
part
a
of
song
it
that we didn't know. This, it just would kind of not ruin, but it would sort of usurp the situation.
Do you like this song?
I love it. I'm so upset that it's not coming out on this album.
Right.
Like, it should be on it. Every time I would play it for somebody, they'd be like, wow.
Did you write it?
No, it's one of his classics. Wow. And I sang along with it and did new background vocals and did.
You're kidding me.
No, I'm telling you. If someone just calls his management and tells them we want to hear this.
Control room, can you guys call his management?
give a call.
Yeah.
Give a caller.
I think his name is Andy Cohen, maybe, the guy, I think that's him. So she's saying for us to call the estate and say release. So you guys call the estate, send the MJ Online team email saying please release the Michael Mariah song, okay, collaboration, okay. So that was interesting. Okay, Michael has a credit. Okay, before we do that, we're going to do, remember I promised the Tito and the cigarette, and I think it's Michael that he put it in there and he was laughing. It was either Michael or it was Marlon. I still don't know. I think it's Michael, but I'm not sure if it's Marlon or not. Okay, so hold on. Thank you for sending it to me. I forget who sent it to me, but thank you. Okay, here it is. Okay, here's the photo. And the cigarette, and I think it's Michael that who sent it to me, but thank you.
No.
Okay, here it is. Okay. And the cigarette, and I think it's Michael that he put it in. Michael that he sent it to me. Thank you.
Oh, no.
Okay,
Hold on.
And the cigarette.
Hold on.
Michael that he put it in. Michael that he put it in. Okay, hold on. It's all confused because I'm on both of them. But let me find it. Okay, let me find the I thought I put it in my story. Okay, but I'm live. So since I'm live, the my story won't play. Okay, so here it is. Hold on. Teresa Gilliam, she sent it to me. Okay, so we're going to look at it now because I had promised this photo. Is that Michael or is that Marlon? Okay, but Tito think it's funny. Okay, Tito playing around with Marlon while sleeping, so that's Marlon. Okay, it's not Michael, that's Marlon, and Tito laughing in the background. So they had a childhood, they had a lot of fun. Okay, like Joe said, Michael didn't have as much of a childhood because he was serious. He was serious about his career. He wasn't playing around. He was serious. Okay, but they did happen to have some fun. But, you know, it was a lot of work and a lot of pressure and a lot of all that to where he did miss out on some of his childhood. But they had fun. Okay, there was times for games and fun. Okay, but lots of work. Okay, Michael's like, there's always something to do when I was little. Okay, so then, I'm going to get to it. One thing about Peter Michael Bobby that he used to do too, not only clear his throat like Michael, you know, which I go over in the Alive docuseries, but when he had nothing to say, he'd go, ooh, or he'd do a sound effect, or he'd do one of his famous, you know, and he would make his sound effects that are in his songs and stuff. He would do that when he got nervous or when he didn't know what to say, when there was too much silence. on the phone because he's not a big talker. He's a big talker when he has something that he wants to get accomplished. He wants something, he got a mission. He's got something that he wants to get out there. But in regular conversation, there was always some silence because he's doing something. He really just wanted somebody there, okay, there on the phone, that he knew somebody was around so he wouldn't feel so lonely. And that's how he kind of was, you know, on the phone a lot, okay? Now, of course, he could be talkative, you know, and he got real quiet when he wanted you to tell him something. And so he would be quiet to try to pull it out of you because now you're trying to get him to talk. So then you're trying this conversation, trying that conversation, trying this conversation. And he just wouldn't budge because he wanted you to bring up something that he knew about that he didn't want you to know he knew. Okay, so he was hoping that you would bring it up so there could be conversation about it. Okay, that was another little thing that he did. Okay, let's move on. A Tito and a cigarette. Okay, Michael is in. Then I'm gonna tell you who I ran into, who came to my booth. Oh my God. Okay. The other thing is Michael is in Leonardo DiCaprio. His latest movie, One Battle After Another. It was there was some continuity issues. It was entertaining, but it was kind of, I don't know, it was a little propaganda and it was a little, I don't know, manipulative. It was, you know, I don't know. Even though he says, I love black women, but the black women in the movie were horrible. Oh my God. The one main person in the movie, she was a horrible human being. Oh my God, was she terrible. I don't know what to think of the movie. Me and Cecil were like, because usually after we watch a movie, we grade it, right? We grade the movie, A through F, right? And a lot of movies are C, a lot of B's, and there's some A's. We get some A's. And when after we watched it, I said, what do you grade it? And he was like, I don't know how to grade it. And I was like, me either, because I liked certain aspects of the movie, but certain aspects were manipulating me. And then certain aspects were putting something out in the public that was kind of anti-black woman and white man. You know, it was, I don't know, because right now, interracial relationships are really big, and it used to be lopsided, like black men, you know, not with black women. That was the majority of it. And then poor black women, well, what about us? That's why I wrote the book, Black Women Need Love Too, because we were like, oh my God, who's going to love us now? And now, you know, black women are with every race of people, white guys, it doesn't matter. So it's a little bit more balanced, which is what it should be, a little more balanced, not leaving one group, you know, at the bottom of the totem pole, you know, with nothing, you know. So anyway, but in that movie, Michael's song, Ready or Not, Here I Come, Wanna Find You and Make You Happy. Okay, so here it is. Here's the credit. So I recorded the credit to the movie. I got to keep the sound off because it's already been flagged. Here it is. Okay, here we go. So Jackson 5 got to be in a movie, a major movie soundtrack. Okay, so here we go. There it is. Wait, whoa, stop. Okay, Here I Come. I Can't Hide from Love, performed by the Jackson 5, courtesy of Motown Records, on something licensed from Universal Music Enterprises. So it's one of these songs. But the Jackson 5, and then he said, because I think the Stylistics or the Shy Lights or one of them sung it first. And let me see, Can't Hide from Love, Here I Come. Let me look it up. Here I Come. And then when he started singing, Cecil said, is that the Shy Light song? And I said, and right when he said it, Michael started singing. I said, that's Michael Jackson. That's baby Michael right there. Okay. Here, let's go Google. I gotta do Google. Okay, Google. Here I Come. Here I Come. Lyrics. Oh gosh. Let me go back there. Let me go back to that. Can't hide from love. Okay, can't hide from love. Where is it? Can't hide from love. Can't hide from love. Okay, can't hide. Ready or not, here I come. Gonna find you and make you happy or something. It was the Delphonics. That's what Cecil said. It was the Delphonics. And they remade that song. And so I can't hide, gonna find you and keep you happy. Ready or not, here I come. You can't hide. Gonna love you and make you love me. Okay, I always get the lyrics wrong. But anyway, it got into a major motion picture. All right. This is my last story, okay? I done did all my notes. Okay, my last story of the day. Evie Tvesi. You Michael fans, you Michael Jacksonologists, you super Michael fans know who Evie Tvesi is. She was Michael's longtime personal assistant for 35 years, okay? Evie knew what was going on. Evie said she had a desk job, which meant when Michael needed plane tickets or he needed to make reservations or he needed to she did his itinerary. She made sure that the things that he needed to have done were done, but she was close as can be with Michael. His thoughts. And when to put them in action, he would put Evie on it to contact, to get in touch with. She had everybody's phone number. She had all his contacts. And if she didn't have it, she had to go find it. She was Michael's personal assistant. So was Grace. But Grace was more of a personal assistant, to where Evie was more of a business personal assistant. Okay. Grace, finally, Michael probably sent her out to get him some clean clothes or to wash the clothes or make sure his clothes were clean or make sure this and that. So he had, and Grace ended up being the nanny too. Okay. So, but Evie, she had a desk job and she was more of his business sense. Okay. Anyway, let's look up her name. Okay. Evie Tvesi. Michael Jackson. Let's see. Michael Jackson. Okay. So Evie. So anyway, Evie Tvesi was Michael Jackson's longtime personal assistant, whose home was raided by the authorities in 2004 during their investigation into the child molestation identification. Court documents referred to a blacked out name, but the Santa Barbara press identified it as Evie Tvesi. Evie Tvesi had worked for Michael over a decade and was responsible for paying his personal bills. Among the items that they seized on her Sherman Oaks home, I was at the Sherman Oaks Fashion Square, were files related to Jackson's defense, including folders labeled Mesereau, a reference to Jackson's attorney, attorney-client privilege, gag order. At the time, Tvesi told the news press that a court imposed a gag order preventing her from discussing the case. He was acquitted of all charges. Okay, Evie Tvesi. Okay, she said, okay, how it happened. Okay, how it happened. You know, I'm at the farmer's market, right? How many of Michael's people have come to the farmer's market and come to my table, right? Okay, lots and lots. Okay, Evie lives in Sherman Oaks, so it could be quite coincidental. Could be just a coincidence, right? Right? It could be just a coincidence. I can't wait to tell you the story along with Dante. Okay, I just can't tell you right now that story. Okay, I just can't tell it right now, but I will tell it one day. Okay, the timing of that. But anyway, so a lady comes and she's like a brown. Her ethnicity is brown. Tvesi could be Italian. I don't know. It could be Mexican or Spanish or Latino of some way. I'm not sure. But she was absolutely sweet. She had dark glasses on. Okay. So, to me, it's her, and she had a black lady with her that was really short. So they could not be Michael Jackson, could not be. So everybody don't speculate on that. She was 5 feet. Okay. Sweet as pie too. So I'm doing my regular thing. I don't know who she is. I'm doing my regular, shea butter is so good for you. And it comes off of a tree and it moisturizes and it does this. And she said, oh, frankincense and myrrh. And she was like, oh my God, that's so good for so many ailments. And I'm like, yeah, it's so wonderful. It comes from a tree. I use high quality frankincense. I'm doing my whole thing, right? So then we pick out which one she wants. So we ended up picking out one that she wants, and I gotta go so bad. Picking out a certain one that she wants, right? And so she told her friend, oh, I left my purse in the car, and the friend said, oh, I got you, I'll pay for it, and you can just give it back to me. So then the friend walks off, right? And the friend's gone for like 20 minutes, right? And so Evie's at my table and we're talking. She's going, oh, your stuff is so good. Oh my God, you got this natural product. You got this natural soap. You got this. Oh my God, I can't believe you have all this stuff. It's so great. So good. And this other guy, a repeat customer, comes. He says, okay, Miss Pearl, I'm going to a fancy event. I want a fragrance that's going to make me, to impress people. I said, okay, we're going to do Bulgari. Okay. Bulgari Agua. Okay, it's $50 on my website because it is so deep and rich and you smell like a rich person, right? So we smelled a whole bunch, and he finally decided, and Evie helped. She was helping him pick out, and Evie was a part of it, right? We were all there. And we picked out a Gary the Bull because I can't use the real name of Bulgari, right? Because of trademark reasons. So I name it Gary the Bull so that I can remember what it's based off of, what smell it's based off of. So we decided, all of us, on Gary the Bull because Gary the Bull, oh my God, you smell like such a rich person. Very masculine, very rich and deep and just like smells just rich, And so we decided on that. So he bought his and, and we all talked and everything was good. So then finally, the girl comes back and she's like, oh my God, and she sold cookies. That was her thing, cookies. She was thinking about maybe getting into the farmer's market thing about, with her cookies. Right. And, so then, she's like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. Something happened on the phone. I'm back. And so then as usual, they're like, Pearl, when did you find out she worked for Michael Jackson? I'm getting to it. Okay. So she says, so then as usual, I ask people their name all the time because it's good to have a personal touch with people and you appreciate people giving you your business, right? And you're just so kind and so nice and so appreciative all the time, right? Because that's what you're supposed to be when you're selling a product and you're giving something from your heart. Me and my son, we really put a lot of effort into making our shea butters, right? Making quality product for you. Okay. So then, I say, what's your name? She says, Evie. First thing I thought was Tvesi, right? So then I said, Evie. And I said, what's your last name? And she said, Tvesi. And I was like, did you work for Michael Jackson? And she said, yes. I was like, oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. God. Right? You're here? You work for Mike? Oh my God. And we talked for a minute. I asked her to take a picture. She said no. She doesn't do no social media. She doesn't do any of that stuff. She said no. And her friend was like, how did you know that she worked for Michael Jackson? How did you know that? And I said, because I'm a Michael Jacksonologist, And I told Evie, I said, I saw you testify in the Mark Chaffel versus Michael Jackson trial. She was like, oh my God, oh my God. She was so nervous, okay? I remember seeing her. She was a mess. She couldn't really think. She was like, and it wasn't no put on. She was nervous, right, to be up there. And she, which made her not a good witness because she couldn't think. She was just a mess emotionally, right? And she went, oh my God. And then I remember seeing her walk to her car that day. I didn't tell her she was an emotional wreck, but I told her I saw her testify and she just went. So I said, I ain't going there no more because that was a traumatic experience for her, And she was walking to her car and she you know, things were like getting loose in her hand, and she was still like trembling inside. You know, you could tell that it really shook her up. And we talked for a few more minutes, and then I said, you know what? You were always good to Michael. I said, can I give you a hug? And she said, yes. And we hugged, and she said in my ear, and I don't know if it was a whisper or a regular voice, because it's right next to my ear and I have bad hearing. She said, I still work for Michael. Huh? What? Right? And I must have jerked or something, you know, because that just did my senses, right? And she said, well, I work for him. Like, she tried to make it into a figuratively. And she said, yeah, well, I work for him because I learned so much from him. And I was like, oh my God, right? And I told her, I said, well, I'm Pearl Jr. and I've been doing things on Michael for years. And of course, I'm not going to bring up the death hoax. It's just kind of, it's kind of rude. It's a little bit, you know, it's just, I just always feel weird around his people to say that, because it's kind of like, I don't want to, you know, mess up the positive vibe. I want things to stay happy and wonderful, and I don't want any antagonism. I don't want people to feel uncomfortable. You know, I don't want them to feel like, you know, that's the hush hush. You're not supposed to say nothing about that. That's the hoax. That's shh. And you know, I can't say nothing. But she said, I still work for Michael. And I was like, oh my God, right? So then she made it into, instead of a literal comment, into a figurative comment. But I ran into Evie Tvesi. Oh my God. Oh my God. That's all I can say is, oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. But she was the sweetest can be. And there I am with another Michael Jackson person just out doing my market. Well, anyway, guys, go to michaeljacksoninsider.com or staysalldayshay.com and order you some wonderful, fantastic smelling, great for your skin, healthy, and it comes in essential oils too. Okay. Shea butter. All right, guys. And I will, talk to you, next time, and keep Michaeling. Bye-bye. It says slow connection right here, so I'm waiting for, okay, now I can say bye-bye.